guys, welcome back to my channel. Simone here. So today I'm going to be doing the second part of my #fantasy life videos, which is going to be my top 5 fantasy movies. Now, I really enjoy fantasy movies more than I enjoy reading books. I'm not a big fantasy reader. I like YA fantasy but not so much high fantasy, but I really enjoy watching fantasy films just because I think once you're in the world already you can kind of see things around. It doesn't need to be explained to you quite so much, so I just find that a little bit easier personally. So let's get started. So my first one is Avatar. I love Avatar. I'm talking about the one with the blue animals rather than the animated one. Avatar is one of my favourite films. It's such a long film but it doesn't feel like it because it just goes. It's so good. This is about a marine who is paraplegic, and he is asked to basically go to this planet of Pandora, and basically they go into these pod things and become these avatars. So their bodies, although he's paraplegic, he can still as an avatar walk around, I guess, and be his character. I'm not quite sure how it works scientifically, but anyway, he then goes to this place in Pandora and it becomes his home, and then he then is a bit torn between his instructions from his kind of superiors that have sent him there and from saving the world that he's loving and that is now his home. So this is such a beautiful film. The actual animations and the art of this film is amazing, and it's kind of the one my boyfriend Artceptual, I'll link him below. I'm sure you've all probably heard me talk about him before, but basically he is doing concept art for games and animation at university. Why is my phone going off? Shit. Oh, hang on, let me check it's nothing important. As I'm talking about my boyfriend, he just texted me about his course, which is what I'm talking about. So that's quite funny. Anyway, I'll go back to him in a minute. Basically, this, him doing that at university, he was trying to show me certain things in real life, how things that he might do might come up in real life for me. And he showed me some of the art on Avatar, and oh my god, it's beautiful. And it really just amazes me that he can do that kind of thing. I mean, it's obviously it's not his work on Avatar, but he can do some of the things. I love it. I think it's great. And Avatar is one of my favourites, and it's obviously fantasy, so it's on my list. The second one I have is much less high fantasy and more kind of base level fantasy, I guess you would call it. I'm not quite sure. But it is Groundhog Day. This has two of my favourite people in it. It has Bill Murray and it has Andy McDowell, who was in 4 Weddings and a Funeral, which is one of my favourite films of all time. But Groundhog Day is about Bill Murray, who is a weatherman, and he finds himself living the same day over and over and over again. And every morning he wakes up and it's the same day, and he does this, the same things happen to him. And I was worried when I started watching this that it would be really boring, because I was it was just repeating the same day. And for example, my least favourite Harry Potter book, still gave it 5 stars, and my least favourite Harry Potter book and film is The Prisoner of Azkaban, because it's the time turner one where they're going over the same day and I get really bored. I didn't get bored with this film. Groundhog Day was brilliant. It was really funny. It's got Bill Murray in. Of course it was furry. Furry? Of course it was funny. Don't ask me what I was trying to say. And the relationships in it are really cute, and oh, I just love it. One of my favourite films of all time. Okay, so this might be slightly problematic for some people. But my next one is Edward Scissorhands, which has Johnny Depp in, and I know a lot of people have problems with Johnny Depp right now because things that he's done. I am not condoning anything he's done. I'm not even going to go into that because it's just far-fetched, and not far-fetched but far from this video. I love this film, Edward Scissorhands. I thought it's one of his most iconic films, and I hadn't seen it until probably last year or the year before, I think. I can't remember when I first watched it, but it was only in the last couple of years. And it basically is about this man. Is he a man? Do we call him? I don't know. Anyway, he has scissors for hands, loads of them. They're all over him. And he has been living in isolation because the guy that made him, the inventor guy that made him, basically died. I hope that's not a spoiler. I don't think it is. And so he then is taken in by this family that live in this really kind of picturesque town. They have the Avon lady, and everything's neat and tidy and everyone does what they're meant to do, and then he comes in and kind of is brought into this town. Like, he's a very gentle, like sweet, calm guy, but everyone sees these scissors and thinks, oh my god, and then it becomes this massive thing, and I just love this. It's one of those ones that's so weird and like fantastical that it makes it great, because you're like, well, this would never actually happen, obviously, but it's kind of great that it has happened. And I love how like innocent he is when he's trying to do certain things, and obviously the scissors get in the way. Oh, I just love it. And yeah, the other characters in this are great as well, so I would definitely recommend this one. Number 4, I'm going to go with Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Now, I know you're all thinking, of course I had to put a Harry Potter film in this list, and obviously I do. But I'm going to go back old school to the very first one, because I watch it now, and it's one of those, because it's the first one and it's such a long time ago. It's from 2001, which is 16 years ago, and that really freaks me out quite a lot. But it's just wonderful, and I love watching all the characters from when they started, and then like watching the last one and realising how far they actually came and how old they are now. And this is really, really sad for me, but it has the original Dumbledore, who to me is the only Dumbledore. I'm sorry, Michael Gambon, but to me Richard Harris is Dumbledore. And I love this one. I love like the beginning and the kind of explanation of it all and how it happened, and I love Harry and Ron meeting and becoming friends. And the only thing I'm not a big fan of, I don't love how Hermione is in this, like how she's treated, I mean, not how her character is. I just want everybody to love everyone, but it's not the way it goes, unfortunately. But I love this. Yeah, amazing. It's got like McGonagall in, Hagrid, and oh, my favourite characters, and I love it, so it's definitely on my list. The last one in this list is Stardust, and I believe it's a Neil Gaiman book that's been made into a film. I'm not 100% sure. I seem to sort of vaguely remember someone saying that on like a video that I watched recently. But anyway, I really liked this. It's about a guy who basically promises his beloved girl that he will retrieve a star for her, that they see like a fallen star, and he says he will retrieve that star from this like fantasy land, I guess, I'm not sure. Anyway, and then off it's his like journey to go and find the star. Now, I haven't watched this film in probably like, I was going to say like 10 years, but I'm pretty sure it came out 10 years ago. So it's probably been like 8 or 9 years ago since I actually watched this film. But I had to mention it because it is one of my favourites, and I really need to rewatch it now I'm talking about it. I'm pretty sure I need to watch that again. I wonder if it's on Netflix. I will have a look, because if it is, I'm definitely watching it tonight. But anyway, either way, I really want to rewatch this because it's great. And that is my top 5 fantasy films. I'd love to know what yours are. Please let me know. Also, if you've seen any of these or you love any of these, let me know, because I like to talk about things I love with other people. And give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I shall see you in my next video. Bye guys.